Hey guys, I'll give you a few minutes for everybody to kind of get in here and we're recording. So, uh, just a heads up on that, obviously. And where the hell do I view this?
Dang, Brandon, I thought I had a lot of tabs open.
Oh, dude, this is only one window. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. I know. Are you guys seeing the presentation screen now?
Yep.
All right,
Yes.
perfect. I'll give it a few minutes, especially since I started a minute late here. And then get everybody in. But I'm recording anyway, so they'll get a replay. And let's see if anybody in the group is giving me the I can't get in, I can't figure it out, yada, yada, yada. It happens all the time. And we all know that I can't judge because I'm the most tech challenged person when it comes to Zoom, of all things, and only Zoom. I don't know why I struggle with Zoom. But all right, looks like we've got everybody in who's going to make it. So, real quick, the name of my company, for those who don't know, is Cornerstone Capital. And we're going to go through what I call the simple presentation. So, what is Cornerstone Capital? It is the only mutually owned IMO in the industry. There's lots of benefits to that, but of course, we need to really determine if this is a good fit for you because, everybody who started a company, I firmly believe, wants to believe that they have the best offer for whatever their target market is. For us, our target market is producers. I do think we have the best producer model in the industry. Quite frankly, I would go toe to toe with any other producer model, but I would also venture to say that most agents aren't truly producers. So, let's see if I can move this. There we go. So, kind of Harry Potter sorting hat joke of are you a builder, a hybrid, or a producer? Because those are the three areas that insurance companies really fit into. So, with that, there's only so many ways that you could split a dollar. What a lot of people don't know is that an agency level contract, which IMOs and most agencies have, starts at about 120% anywhere, any product. I've seen them go higher than 160 very rarely, but they literally started at 120%, which means if you're at a 25% contract and they're at 125%, for every dollar you make, the agency is keeping four. If you're at a 70% contract and the agency contract is 140, for every dollar you make, they're making one. So the question is, what are you getting for how much they're keeping? And is this profitable for you? And here's why these things work for different people. If you are a builder, which means you build teams, large teams, you are a recruiting machine, you are going to take a lower comp because you're not a producer and that doesn't matter to you. But you have higher overrides to build that team. So your team also takes a lower comp. And because of that, every penny they make, you make 3 or 4 pennies from. And that's how, we see 7, 8 figure earners in this industry is because they have mega teams that are working for lower comps and they're getting better overrides. Then in the last couple of years, we've started to see what I call hybrid organizations come out. And those hybrid organizations start you at a much better comp. They also give your agents under you a much better comp, which means you get much less override. So you need to personally produce to survive in that hybrid model. You also need to be able to build a team because on both ends of that spectrum, you are getting an average comp and an average override. And then you have producer contracts, which is what Cornerstone is. We have the highest comp and minimal or no overrides. Here's the beautiful thing though, is we also have teams at the best company for builders and the best company for hybrids. So if you fit into one of those two and you want to build there, you can get the same benefits of being a member of Cornerstone and utilize our resources and be a builder or be a hybrid, but you're not going to get all the benefits that you get as far as our comp plan goes and as far as actually being a member of our mutual IMO as you would when you join Cornerstone as a producer. So as a producer, you get the highest comp and minimal or no overrides. With us, we give no overrides. There is no recruiting whatsoever. You do not have downlines. The reason that people always say, okay, well, then what's my incentive to tell people about Cornerstone or to recruit them into it? The reality is, number one, we're the best there ever was. We're the best there's going to be because we aren't making the profit that everybody else is. We're not flying around on private jets that you're paying for. Um, the incentive is the more people come in and are succeeding, the bigger bonus payouts we're going to have, the bigger dividend payouts we're going to have, because at the end of the year, we pay dividends because you are the shareholder of that company. So, and yeah, I just kind of went through that. If you want to be a builder, we have a team at World Financial Group. If you want to be a hybrid, we have a team at Experior. I have looked at the inside of any other company out there. I'm not going to disparage and defame any of them, but what I could tell you is seeing things from the inside, seeing their profitability, seeing um, every option available. These are the only places that I feel comfortable building a personal team outside of my personal company. Why? It goes down to a couple things. It comes down to leadership. Do you have leaders with integrity, common sense, and discipline? It comes down to profitability. It comes down to carriers and carrier reputations. All these things are put into place. But I could tell you right now, if you want to ask me about my feelings about why I won't trust or won't go with any other company, I'm happy to go into details for that. And then, as the saying goes, if you want to wake up in the morning and piss excellence like you're Ricky Bobby as a producer, you can't beat our producer model. So now's the time. If you don't want to be a producer, and what that means is, again, you're going to make high comps, but you need to sell. You're going to be responsible for killing what you eat. If you want to be a builder, the whole rest of this presentation isn't for you. If you want to make overrides on people and maybe not have to build, and you want to be in a hybrid model, the rest of this presentation isn't for you. You can message me and say, hey, how do I join your team at the builders model or at the hybrid model? Get your free leads, get your free resources, so on and so forth. Message me, we'll get you on one of those teams. The beautiful thing here is too, let's say you do start at one of those companies and it's not for you. You decide, hey, I've done this for 6 months. I've recruited 4 people, 2 of them left. I'm clearly not a builder. Maybe I should just focus on being a producer. Great. We'll switch you over. No harm, no foul. You're never going to disappoint me. Or you realize that the hybrid model wasn't for you and you recruited 500 people and you're killing it at recruiting, but you're not making enough overrides off them for that to be, financially stable for you. Okay, great. We're going to switch you over, see if we can't get your team to follow you. If not, you already knew how to build it once, right? So that's why we give those options because, again, not everybody fits into these things. And I'm not going to try to fit a square peg into a round hole. And you don't know if you're a square or a round and what hole you need to be fitting into until you really see your full potential. And so many of these other companies are never going to allow you to see your full potential. And here's why. We're going to go into some Brandonisms. Things that I say that should be common sense if only common sense was common. Number one, your upline should be someone you look up to. If you have an upline who can't pay their rent, and can't help you structure a policy, can't help you with your sales, you don't have an upline, you have a leech. You never solve a permanent problem with a temporary solution, and you don't solve a temporary problem with a permanent one. Anybody who says, okay, I only want to sell final expense, I only want to sell buy term, invest the difference, I only want to sell IULs, I don't want to do business with you because you're always trying to take a round peg and shove it into a square hole. Period. We do what is best for the client in every given situation. And then the last one is some people build numbers, some people build people. I've seen people who have thousands of agents under them, and less than 1% of them are producing. If I had 22,000 agents and only 5,000 of them wrote business last month, I would not be out here acting like I am the world's biggest swinging dick in this industry. I would be ashamed of myself. That is somebody who is only interested in building numbers and not building people. If I have 1,500 agents under me and less than 10% of them wrote business last month, I am failing 90% of those people. But what that also means is those people aren't people to them. They're just numbers. So that's the real question. I want you to think about that, look introspectively where you're at, and say, am I a person here or am I just a number? Does anybody in my company care? Is anybody in my company going to pour resources into me if I'm not making money this month? Or are they going to put that blame back on me because they have no sense of personal responsibility for this team? That is the difference between people who build numbers and people who build people. We're in business to build people at Cornerstone. So one of the things we need to talk about is, leadership and uplines. We don't have uplines, but boy, do we have leadership. You've got me. My background in digital marketing is unmatched in this industry. You're going to see some of the technology stuff that we're putting together, and that will be more than proven to you when you say, holy shit, there are companies out here who are bragging that they have a fintech partnership, and it's freaking ethos. It's ethos. That's not a fintech partnership. That is an instant issue carrier product. A non-competitive carrier product in a lot of ways, by the way. That's not a fintech. It's an instant issue insurance. We've all got that. We've all got that. What? And these places say, "Oh, we've got technology." I haven't seen any technology that improves my situation as an agent until the stuff that I built and partnered with. When it comes to leadership, I have connections to the top people in this industry at other companies, at our own company. So let me tell you a little bit about who our leaders are. When I go for annuity sales, our annuity partner is a man named Bill Broich. Bill was the first person to sell $100 million in annuities in the United States. He knows what the damn hell he's doing, and you want to learn from somebody who knows what the damn hell they're doing. When I actually was building Cornerstone, a lot of the stuff that we changed came from leadership from a man named Brett Blake. Brett Blake is now the president of annuity.com, our annuity partner. Brett was the CEO who took Beachbody from $35 million a year to almost $1 billion a year in less than 6 years. So you want to talk about somebody who knows how to successfully scale? We've got that. We've got connections to anything that you could possibly think you need in this industry. And then we've got the carriers and the products. But when it comes to leadership, absolutely unmatched leadership. You are not dealing with somebody who, left a company disgraced. You're not dealing with somebody who has any sort of federal RICO cases against them. And these are all things I've literally seen in this industry. And our top 10 leaders that we go to for advice, our board of directors, have over 400 years of combined licensure in the insurance industry. That is a lot of true expertise to tap into. True technology. And when I say we are 100 times better than literally everyone else, I'm not effing joking around here. Their technology offers you 6 products. Our quoting technology offers you 600. Do that math. That is 100 times better, literally. So we're going to show you that right now. Every single one of you, if you are a Cornerstone agent, is going to get a Cornerstone branded landing page, not an ethos page, a page that actually builds our agency. So you're going to get, and this is another one of our lead sources is Life Insurance Marketplace that I put this website together, but I want to just show you what this can do as a quoting tool. So we're going to make a test and a test. And by the way, you guys get this. This is customer facing. Your customer does not have to interact with you at all to run their own insurance quote. Ready? Watch this shit. And you guys will all get this. So we're going to run a term quote. And by the way, one of the things we're going to have is a website called thetruthaboutprimerica.org. We are going to run ads showing Primerica customers how to replace Primerica policies. You get these leads for free. They will come into our website. They fill out this form. Anybody who fills out this form on this website, it'll sort it by what state they're in, what state you're licensed in, and then you're going to get these delivered right to your inbox, round robin style. So I'm going to, I get it right. Now here's the beautiful thing, right? Ready for this? This is the best price policy. There's your lowest price. This one has no physical exam. This one is instant decision. This one has living benefits. And this one is preferred. Why is it preferred? Because it has guaranteed convertibility. Now, you as a new agent would not have known the difference between these carriers and these products. We have put 100 years of institutional knowledge at your fingertips, but it gets better. Ready? This one says right here that the physical exam is required. It does have conversion. And your underwriting guide for any product you're looking at is right there. So you know, you're a financial professional, it will give you the underwriting guide right here for any product. Any product we have, over 600 products. There's your underwriting guide. So if you need to say, okay, they got type 2 diabetes, will this work? Maybe, maybe not. By the way, in the future, we're going to be adding live annuity quotes to this. But all right, so if I want to continue, I continue on. I start filling out the information. It fills out my pipeline. All you have to do is get this customer on the phone, say, hey, I need to verify these questions with you. And then we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll, right into submitting this policy. So we're gonna do it again because I want to show you guys some of the other, awesome functionalities of this. Nobody else has this. This is not a totally proprietary tool. Other companies can get it. It would cost $25 per application that is submitted, and they would pass that off to you. And if any other company was using this, quite frankly, I'm going to make a robobot that runs 1 million quotes a day through them and bankrupt them in 2 weeks. So we have ROP terms, all your lifetime permanent options, whole life policies, long-term care, guaranteed issue products. But here's the really cool one. You want to run an accumulation IUL. I'm going to pay monthly. I want to put $500 a month into the accumulation IUL, and I want to stop paying into it at age 55, right? Shows me right here. If I contribute $500 a month from age 33 to age 55, I'm expected to receive $41,736 a year from 66 to 90. That's $132,000 worth of premium to receive $1,043,400 in income. By the way, if you don't know how to structure this policy after, we have a home office that will help you with any of these policy structures. And then we could select different coverage, which again would have the living benefits or no physical exam. It shows you all of that. And then when you're in here, you can go into all these things. For instance, that's me at a super preferred health. So we're going to run that quote at standard health. And see the difference. I mean, it's literally so, and again, over 50 carriers, over 600 products. This is not 5 carriers and 6 products. Um, for OP term, 20-year ROP term with conversion. It's there. Here's another one for you that this is beautiful, and it's one of the coolest features that I think we've got is in our back office. Let's say you have a situation and you see it every day in the insurance group where somebody says, hey, I've got XYZ. This person had, atrial fibrillation. They've got 2 stents. Is there anybody that will assure them? Guess what? When you are in our back office, you could literally put that information in and put in a request and make the carriers compete for that business. And they will come back and say, yes, we'll do it, but they're going to be table rated. Or we'll do it, but they're going to be, they're going to be, guaranteed issue only. And you'll get those responses back from the carriers. So now we're making the carriers compete to run your business. Again, just absolutely huge. People can literally buy life insurance from you without talking to you. I mean, it's the end game, in my opinion. So that's what I mean when I say, we've got true technology, absolutely true technology. So I want to talk about some of the other technology we have. We get an unlimited lead database of age leads. I have an unlimited database of T65 leads, which are what we give you for selling annuities, because those people need to be in annuities. It's time to teach them to protect their retirement with annuities. We have pre-made sales trainings that all you have to do is click play, and it teaches those educational sources for you. And then you already saw how that quote works and how they just get submitted to your inbox. Every single day, we are sending 10,000 messages on behalf of our agents. You don't even have to be making those calls. We send automated voicemails and automated text messages to these lists, and we will give you lists on top of that. But we are always trying to get fresh, hot leads of people who want to actually buy these products coming directly into the website. And that's the other thing is if you go to any other company, carrier website, and somebody came to them for life insurance, their home office is selling it. We are giving you those leads. Okay, so comp. So this is what we need to talk about. Is there is only so many ways to split a dollar. When you're young, you're an inexperienced agent, we do need to make a little bit more off you because we're not going to see the rate of return, and we are paying for those leads. So why wouldn't we rather give them to somebody who's a closer? Everybody at this company starts at street rate. You will start at 80%. I would be a hypocrite if I did anything otherwise. I'm a firm believer nobody should ever work for less than street. That is minimum wage. When you hit $10,000 in production, you get to 85%. When you hit 25,000 in production, you're bumped to 90. Now here's where it gets cool. Is when you hit 50K in production, you are considered a broker. You are a true member of Cornerstone Capital. That is when you are vested into our company to receive profit shares and dividends as a co-owner. Because if you can't make 50K, you're not a producer. And I don't care if you make 10K a year for 5 years. to get there. But if you haven't made 50K, you're just not a producer. And um, with, like I said, it's just one of those things that we have to invest more in people who aren't closers. So it's a give and take situation. One of the things that we do is anybody who you do a financial needs analysis with through us, I own, again, the true technology here. I own the incentive company. So they are going to get a $300 restaurant gift card. So now instead of you going to your friends and family and saying, hey, I just got a job in insurance, I need to run 10 quotes, and I'm going to split those sales with my upline. Screw that shit. Forget that. You're going to be able to say, hey, I got this job in at this company. And we'll work on a much better pitch than this. You guys are dealing with me at 8 o'clock at night, and I'm still waiting for the coffee to kick in. But if you do a financial needs analysis with me, we're going to give you a $300 restaurant gift card. Now you're exchanging something for their time. You're giving them a benefit. We use those same incentives to say if you have a Primerica policy and we can't put you in a better policy, we will send you and a partner on an all expense paid cruise. It's never going to happen. But you know how many leads we get off that? Cornerstone was just in Ohio until yesterday. We did almost 5,000 term policy replacements with 8 people last year. Imagine when I expand that shit 50 states wide with you guys, how many leads we're getting. Because number one thing I just run that ad to people who like Primerica. And Primerica agents comment on it. So their friends and family that they conned into buying from them see it. And they go on here and they run an instant quote and say, holy shit, I could have got $1 million term policy for half price. Done deal. Now you got people who actually already bought life insurance. They see the value in it. You don't have to do the hard sell. All you got to do is convince them that saving money is a good thing. That's really tough to convince people, isn't it? Hey, can I cut your policy price in half? Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever going to argue with you about cutting your bill in half or a third or whatever it might be. Or, hey, can I get you a policy with living benefits? Let me teach you what living benefits are. And again, we've got landing pages that teach that for you. So again, so you start at 80. Now, when you get to that 50K, you come in at 50K, you are no longer at a percentage. You're at what I call basis points, which means you're at a percentage of whatever our contract is. So if our contract is 160, you start at 80% of that contract. You'd start at 80% of 160. When you make 6 figures, you go to a 90% contract. And that is 6 figures in insurance production. We also have our training where I truly believe that if you go through and I'm giving you free T65 leads, every single one of you can become a millionaire off annuities. Every single one of you. And the big thing is so many people are not comfortable and trained with annuity sales. We've got teams to help you with that. We have people that will close these deals for you if we have to. You are in business by yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. And we're not going to take a split of your sale. We make overrides. We don't have to screw you any more than that. Nobody can do this. Nobody is going to take you to 100% comp and not keep a penny of the money that you are earning than us. Nobody. So, sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? It really does. Here's why. It kind of is. Quite frankly, if I would have known that I was going to take over that group and be going 50 states wide and not just have a small agency in Ohio, I would have structured this entirely differently and I'd be sitting on my private jet right now on my way to Tahiti. There are a few terms and conditions. Number one, when you get vested into Cornerstone, you do have to become captive. You can't be a co-owner of a company and work for their competitor. Now you have the option of declining coming in if you don't want to be captive for some reason or another. You want to make less money elsewhere? Have at it. Number two, you cannot take the leads we give you and sell them somewhere else. That's all I ask. Now, I will say, If you ever come to a situation and there is a product or a carrier or a situation where we truly don't have a better offering and you want to sell them somewhere else, I would much rather you ask permission than ask forgiveness. I am always going to tell you to do what is best for the client. But if 9 out of 10 sales that you're getting seem to be going elsewhere, we need to figure out what the hell you're doing wrong. Because we've got more carriers than anybody I know. We've got, just better quality carriers than most other IMOs. And we're not going to push you to sell one product over another. We're not going to push you to sell one carrier over another. You always have to do what is best for the client. And that's exactly what we're trying to do, is build a reputation that precedes itself so people come to us organically because they know that our agents are doing what is best for them. So there's a couple of ways we do that. Number one, we make it totally transparent. Like you just saw, a client can go on our website and run their own quotes. They're going to know if you're selling them the cheapest product they could be in or not. You can't hide it anymore. So they're going to know, okay, they're trying to push me to this because X, Y, and Z. So if you don't sell them the cheapest product, they have to sign off that they understand why. And it could be as simple as, I wanted to put them in something with living benefits. Well, of course, that's a better service for them. But we still want them to know that this was the best product they could be in at the best price and why, and sign off that they know you were doing what was ethically right by them. So we operate on a totally different standard of integrity than other companies. Number two, we have our own financial needs analysis. So it will literally, like I said, we don't solve a permanent problem with a temporary solution. We don't solve a temporary problem with a permanent one. That calculator will calculate out and say, hey, they have, this problem for 30 years, this problem for 15 years, this problem is, permanent. So we might recommend that you sell them a 15-year term for one product, for one problem, and 30-year term, and then the whole life solution. That being said, if whatever that FNA recommended is not what they go with, they have to sign off that they recognize that they are underinsured. And we do that because it's a psychological twist where we teach as we go through this FNA that the purpose of insurance is to take risk away from you and back on us. So if we come back and they say, okay, I really don't want to pay for that 30-year term policy, then they have to literally say, and you just say that, okay, what risk do you want to accept? They don't want to accept the risk. But when you phrase it like that, they think twice. Do you want to take off the $200,000 that you allocated for your kid's college and risk that they can't afford to go if you had a heart attack next month and you didn't have a policy with living benefits to cover that? Do you want to risk that if you get cancer, you don't get to take your family on vacation? Do you want to risk that if you drop dead, your wife has to downsize because the mortgage isn't paid off? You have to accept that risk, and we're going to put it in front of you on a piece of paper. 9 out of 10 people are going to say, you know what? Now that you phrase it like that, I don't want to accept any risk. I'm going to find that $100 a month. So are you this guy? Are you being held captive? Up until the time that you join us exclusively and are vested into our company by getting profit sharing as a co-owner, you are not captive. I don't care where else you have contracts. The only thing I care about is that you don't take the leads I give you and make somebody else money with them. That's it. That's fair. That's ethical, right? Because that would be stealing. That's it. That's absolutely it. If now your other companies might care if you want to work with us, that's between you and them. But we are literally ready to roll. If you guys want to sign up with us, we don't care. We don't care if you want to keep a couple contracts somewhere else. In our quoting tool, you can go in and shut off so it won't quote the carriers that you do not have through us. I would recommend you do that. True ownership. Everybody says, oh, I have true ownership. You don't have true ownership unless you are in a mutually owned company or you're on the damn board of directors. These companies who promise you that they're going to IPO one day, well, until they do, you don't own shit. And even when they do, Unless you have a majority share of the stocks of the company, you don't own the company. I don't own Berkshire Hathaway, even though I have Berkshire Class B shares in my 401k. Warren Buffett owns Berkshire Hathaway. Sorry, Charlie. By the way, the more shares they vest to you, the more those shares get diluted every year before they IPO. Because again, there's only so many ways to split a dollar. There's only so many ways to split the value of a company. So no matter what, when they say, oh, we're going to give you 2,500 shares or 25 million shares, guess what? It is just dividing that number by that many shares. You're not earning any more profitability. And there's no guarantee that they're ever going to go public. And there's no guarantee that if they go public, that the stock market's going to fall in love with their company. Primerica is a great company to own stock in and a horrible effing company to own life insurance through. Period, point blank. But when you're with us, you have true ownership. You have true ownership because you are literally owning this company. Any one of you can be elected to the board of directors of the company. The board of directors decides how much we pay out in dividends, how much we keep in marketing. Every penny in overrides that we get right now, and I could tell you my intention will be for the first 2 or 3 years at least, will continue to go to marketing. With that marketing budget, you're going to get leads. You're going to make more sales. Quite frankly, I don't know why anybody would want us to pay dividends. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, has never paid a dividend. Why? Because he wanted that cash on hand for bigger acquisitions. We're going to want that cash on hand to continue to get you leads so you get more money in your pocket every month. I don't know about you. I'd rather have the money now than an empty promise hanging over me that might never come true. That's what true ownership is to me. You own your book from day one with us. You own your code number. You are paid by the insurance companies, by the carriers, and they give us our piece of the pie. That's it. When they give us that piece of the pie, we continually use that to run ads. We run ads. We make 10,000 calls or text calls a day. We make 10,000 automated voicemail messages a day. And at some point, I'm hoping that we have enough overrides that we add. I'd be happy to do 100,000 a day. It's 100,000 calls being made without you actually having to pick up a phone call. And if they want to buy insurance, they get that voicemail. They'll go on the website. They'll run a quote. It'll be directed to an agent in our company. Hey, go on Life Insurance Marketplace. Hey, go on Cornerstone Capital. Run a quote right now. Don't put off till tomorrow what could kill you today. I mean, it's that simple. My goal, quite frankly, is to run a Super Bowl ad. In the next 5 years, I want to run a Super Bowl ad. I want to run a Super Bowl ad highlighting some of the greatest athletes in the world who have almost died. You got Bronny James at 19 years old, had a heart attack playing basketball. You had Lamar Hamlin, kid from the Buffalo Bills, died on the football field. These are the world's greatest athletes. So if you don't think the guy sitting at home stuffing his face with chili dogs is at risk of dying watching the football game, I think that's a message that we need to send is, hey, it can happen to the world's greatest athletes. You can't put this off till tomorrow. And I just hope our website can handle the influx because anybody who comes through that night, we're going to tell them, we'll give you a $500 restaurant gift card for getting your affairs in order. It's not conditional upon them buying anything, but they just come through, get a quote. I promise you, we're always going to find something that they need, rather it be, debt relief, because we have all the ancillary products as well. And by the way, we are going to, in the next year, add financial services and investments, true financial services and investments, not just putting you in a shitty mutual fund. We've got a great partnership for that is historically returning about 30% through automated technology investing, robo-investing. So you will be able to get your financial services licenses through us. And number two, we are launching our own bank. We are launching our own bank, but again, it's going to be a nonprofit IMO. So the way this will work is every time you swipe your card, and for somebody who has ever owned a business, you know that if you own a business, you have a square, whatever, you lose like 3.25% every time somebody swipes their card. About 2.5% of that goes to the bank and the credit card processors. and about 0.75% of that goes to Visa or MasterCard. So with that percentage we get back, you can donate it to the charity of your choice. Rather that be your local church, rather that be your local food pantry, rather that's the Save the Whales Foundation or the not FEMA, but like the Red Cross, and you could change your charity every month as well. But I believe people inherently want to be more charitable, but they're living week to week. So now they could be donating money to their favorite charity every time they spend money that they already have to spend. I don't know anybody who's not going to love this idea. I just simply don't. But again, no bank wants to do something as a nonprofit because they want their skyscrapers and their CEOs want the company jets. Um, but here's the other thing is, all right, so we're going to go get into a church. We'll get into a church of 500 people. The pastor's going to push it because he wants the money from his parishioners. But now we've got 500 data points of people who are great people to look at for final expense because, the average churchgoer is 60 plus. Those are great people to talk to for annuity rollovers. Those are great people to talk to about their other financial things. And we get all that data. That's what we're getting. We're not doing this for free and truly out of the goodness of our hearts. That data is priceless. So again, talking mutual, this is a mutually beneficial arrangement is really what it comes down to. We're giving you free leads. We're giving you these free resources. We're giving you these quoting. We're giving you the incentive marketing program, all those things that you would have to pay for outside of this. And quite frankly, wouldn't even have access to outside of this. I can't think of anything that, you know, is better than this. I really can't. And if anybody ever comes up with a way for us to improve, we're going to continually improve. But as an agent, I want to talk about how you would get clients yourself and then how we get them for you. So, number one, you're reaching out to your friends and family. You're burning through your friends and family. And by the way, most of them are hating your guts. Yeah, sure, they might sit for a financial needs analysis to help you out because they're your bro, but they're not getting anything for that. So most of your friends are saying, oh God, they're in my inbox again. When we offer them the incentive that says, hey, if you sit for a financial needs analysis with one of our professionals, we're going to give you a $300 restaurant gift card. We are now exchanging something for your time. We're giving you something in exchange for you giving us something. We're not being, I'm trying to think of the word here. Um, we're not being selfish with this. And it's one of those things that like when you give, you receive. So we're giving you something for that. Creating content. We have over 8,000 pieces of content pre-made for you to continually share. A lot of you guys have seen those. I tried to give them away for free to the group for other stuff. But yeah, the content's there. It's free. Our sales trainings are free. Our art of money training, which teaches retirees how they need to protect their assets and why they shouldn't be in the market when they're retired, is free. Our annuity breakdown training, all you got to do is push play. We have what we're going to roll out is a training. Everybody makes the joke of, oh, you graduate high school and you know the Pythagorean theorem, but you don't know how to pay your taxes. So we're doing a basic financial literacy training that shows you what the purpose of insurance is, the types of insurance, what long-term care is, how to pay your taxes, so on and so forth. And you're going to share this, and we're going to get 1,000 people a week to just do this free financial literacy training. And then hopefully they come back, they go on the website, they run a quote, and they reach out, want to talk to a Cornerstone advisor because they got something for free and it made sense to them. They learned. Now they're going to learn, oh, hey, you know what? I need to buy insurance before I get sick. I need to buy insurance while I'm insurable. I need to, look into Legal Shield. I need to look into, annuities. I need to look into an IUL because I don't have a 401k. I need to look up my old 401k and make sure it's still performing. Maybe we should roll that into an annuity. I haven't worked somewhere in 10 years, but I know it's just sitting there probably doing nothing. All those things are going to be kind of taught. And then, of course, a couple basic tax write-offs and so on and so forth. You could run, you could pay for leads or buy your own ads. We do that for you. That's what our overrides are for. It's exactly what our overrides are for, is every penny of that is going into generating more and more leads for you. Or you could sit and you could pound phone calls all day. Now, granted, yes, I'm going to give you some leads to call. I will always give you leads to call. Oh, and by the way, here's other technology points for you that I forgot to mention. We have, they will be rolled out in the next 60 days. Two of the coolest AI softwares I have ever seen for this industry. Number one, we have an AI training platform. So you need to go through and do our training to make sure you're qualified, so on and so forth, which, by the way, is how we pay out our dividends. So if at the end of the year we decide we're going to say we made $100 million as an IMO and we're going to keep $10 million for an emergency fund and whatnot, and we're going to pay $90 million out. We'll do it 50-50. We got 100 million. We're going to keep half. We're going to distribute half. You earn points for everything you do. So you will earn a set amount of points for doing the trainings. You will earn a multiplier on those points based upon your persistency. You will earn points for every financial needs analysis you do. We are rewarding you for sitting with families, not for how much money you do. I don't care if you sat with 10 people and sold a million policies. Or sold $1 million worth. I would rather the person who sat with 100 people and tried to help 100 people and made that million have 10 times more points, because we want to help as many people as we can. That's our mission. And that's why we built it that way. You're not going to get a point per dollar. I don't care about your production numbers. I care about how many people you tried to help. So you get points based on how many financial needs analysis you went through, the full financial needs analysis. You get persistency multipliers on that. And then at the end of the year, we'll say, okay, we've got 1.8, billion points. We divide $50 million by that many points. That is how much every one of your points is worth. And here's your check. It's that simple. It's really that simple. So I told you that we've got the AI software that's calling for you every damn day, that's leaving automated voicemails every day. You don't have to be doing that. We've got our training software in the background. And one of the things we have is an AI therapy. So you can come in and you're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, I was off last week, and our AI software is going to coach you. This is a virtual upline for you. It says, yeah, I noticed your sales were a little off last week. What's going on in your personal life? What can we do to get you back on track? We've got an AI therapist to help you keep in line with your goals. Number one. Number two, we have an AI sales trainer that will listen in on your phone calls and in real time tell you how to improve your sales pitch. No longer do you need to sit with an upline who probably has never sold a damn insurance policy in their life, by the way, because they work somewhere that they were told to recruit you and hasn't sold insurance yet, or isn't a closer in the first place. I got to tell you, I'm not the world's best closer when it comes to getting on the phone with people. You get me in person in a suit, man, I could sell water. I could sell water to anybody. Some of my biggest sales, I could sit at a bar with my laptop and sell when I talk to people in person. You get me on the phone, does not resonate the same way. This AI software will listen in on your sales calls and tell you in real time what you could do to improve your pitch. Right there. An AI sales trainer. And then so capitalizing on your referrals and your relationships. So when you put people through a financial needs analysis, they buy a policy from us, right? As a company, we will automate the follow-up for you, because so what we do is they go into our system. We send them a thank you card with a Cornerstone Capital gift card. I think it's Dunkin' Donuts. It's like a $10 gift card. It says, thanks for taking care of this. Take out somebody who makes life worth living on us. Take out your beneficiary or somebody who makes life worth living on us. People love that. But also they're now in our mailing list. So every year they're going to get a generic holiday card that also reminds them it's time to do an annual review, that it's time to make sure they're still in the best product for them, and then asks if anything has changed in their life. In our annual review, they can go online and do the annual review. They don't need to call you. We have an annual review form that they just fill out, and it says, hey, has anything changed in your life? Have you taken on more debt? Has somebody died? And then when it asks about those things, it says, hey, are there a couple people that you want to refer that we should reach out to? And those are routed directly to the agent who made the original sale. So your referrals and those relationships, we have automated for you. And then, of course, there's rare specializations people get into. Like one of the guys in the group, he has a child with Down syndrome. He exclusively wants to sell to people with Down syndrome. One of the beautiful things for us is number one, I would never target any rare specialization because I believe, everybody needs the products we have and we should just try to help as many people as possible. But when you have those rare circumstances that so many other people, you see it in that group every day. People who don't know how to sell these products and who to sell to, who to underwrite, which carriers, which products. Guess what? Our back office, you automate it. Okay, I got a kid, he's 13 years old, has X, Y, and Z. Parents want to take care of them. Put it in. The carriers will come to you and fight for that business. Now you don't have to run 6 quotes through other companies. You let those carriers come to you and you know you're doing what is best for that family. And in those rare circumstances that people have these horrific situations and conditions, you're going to feel really good to not just be putting them in a guaranteed issue product if you didn't have to. So again, the keys to success in this industry are leads, technology, more leads, training, having profitability partners. We have some really great ancillary products. And that is the other thing. It is totally free. We have no cost of being a member here other than you have to have your E&O insurance. You have to keep your license in good standing. And you have to join our team at Legal Shield because part of our financial needs analysis is making sure people are protected from civil litigation as well. The other technology we have is, we will give them their free wills, legal trusts, guardianship paperwork. We do all that. Some people push that as only a few carriers have it. We have it for every single person who comes to us. They can go right on the website and they go and they fill out the information themselves. They print it. As a customer, that's a free benefit that they get. But we have a full service solution here. And especially will when we add, the investment side. And then, of course, again, it goes back to integrity. So Cornerstone Capital, the whole point is that we are branding this as a company that operates differently than any other insurance company, not just for the insurance agents, as you guys have seen, but for the customers. That we are totally transparent with them, that all of our agents are working on their behalf and not for the insurance company. That we show them a transparent pricing model. We show them what they're available for. They have to fill out paperwork if they are not getting the best priced policy to acknowledge why that we put them in a different product. So they know that we are held to a different ethical standard than anywhere else. And when you show, and we're going to highlight, I see some of these companies that they've got a different carrier every month that they're promoting. Well, that's because those carriers are pushing a bonus that month. So they're putting people through a certain carrier without even looking at anybody else because they want to get their bonus. We don't do that. We don't do that because you know why? Because when you do that, all you're doing is leaving yourself open to replacement. Where if we put you in the best product in the first place, nobody's replacing us. Nobody's replacing our policy. You're not always chasing your chargeback tail. It's really that simple. But when we get that reputation for being the company that operates with integrity, that our agents own the company and have a say in that company, and nobody else operates the way we do, people are going to come to us organically. And again, they come in, they fill out anything on that website, it gets round robin to whoever hasn't gotten a lead latest. I mean, you're in the system one at a time for your state, unless they go to your direct page. Now, if they go to your direct page, you've got a virtual website. It's Cornerstone Capital / whatever your, well, actually it'll be Cornerstone Capital Financial Services.com / your name. And that's your website. We can also, put your own domain name to that so you can brand it. You've got a website right out the gate with that instant quoting tool. They fill out, you get it in your email instantly. Hey, such and such filled out this, they want to buy this policy. Now you got to get them on the phone and say, hey, I got to make sure you're actually qualified at, you quoted yourself at preferred. This might come back at standard rating, but let's spend 5 minutes, make sure we got the best thing for you. And you submit that policy right there. They literally, it's already in pipeline for you. So if you guys are ready to go, The website is actually not live yet. It will be Monday. Not a big deal. Anybody who's in the group does not have to interview with me. That's the thing, is we're not hiring anybody that could fog a mirror at Cornerstone. So eventually, people will have, outsiders, I should say, will have to interview with me. If you're in that group and I haven't blocked your ass yet, then you're good to go. Anybody who wants to sign up, you could message me. I will send you the direct links to start signing up, and you could start getting contracted this week. By the time your contracts come back, the website will be live. Adam Levine, I think Adam's on here. So Adam is partner with our technology partner. Adam will be our point guy for anybody who needs help with the tech, needs help setting up, um, illustration, needs help setting a policy. But also, he's going to do some back office stuff and show you guys around the back office and all the cool functionalities of our back office. Um, so everybody will be ready to go and hit the ground running with that. But yeah, I mean, I could send you the link as soon as you message me. So my recommendation is, if you see this, it made sense, you love it, and rather you think you're a producer or not, like I said, I've got a solution for you. And that technology you could use with, we will keep you on, whether you want to be a builder or you want to be in a hybrid. In fact, I'd make more money off you if you went to those companies by far, because we don't make anything on this side. So if you want to be a builder and go to our team at WFG, I will still build this technology for you. You want to be on our team at Experior, I will still build out this technology for you. You will still be a Cornerstone agent. But here's the thing, is if somebody is on our team at, say, WFG, Cornerstone gets paid that override. If somebody's on the team at Experior, Cornerstone gets paid that override. If somebody is an associate at Cornerstone, that means they're not yet vested into that profit sharing because they haven't done 50K in personal production. So that's going to suck for them. But if you are that person that has done the 50K in personal production, and you are a broker and you are captive with us now because you are part owner of Cornerstone, all those overrides from WFG and Experior are being counted into that dividend that you get for being a producer at Cornerstone. So again, I mean, it's a win-win situation because we have a home for everybody based on what peg they fit into. But there is nothing out there that you will ever see that can compare to the training, leadership, and technology, in my opinion, that we have as a company. And I truly believe that when we want to build people and not just build numbers, that I could take anybody and make them a seven-figure producer, especially if you guys listen to me about annuities. Because if you get one annuity, one retirement rollover, your average retirement is going to be about $2 million. You're talking a 6% rollover on that. You just made $120,000. All these people are chasing their damn tail to make $100,000 a year. You could have $100,000 day, and I'll send you 500 people a month to try to get onto this free seminar teaching them why they need to buy annuities in their retirement in the first place. So that being said, does anybody have any questions? I need to see if I don't know where I go to see comments or anything, but I think you guys can unmute yourselves.
Hey, Brandon, it's Adam. I actually got home and
I
I'm here
saw
on
you
my
popped
computer.
in. So
Yeah. Do we want to give them a sneak preview of the back office system?
yeah, is there a way for me to share this with you, or you want me to just log into Boss?
I can share if you allow me to share.
Okay, so ask to start video, maybe.
The host is allowing. Yep, there you go.
And you do have some questions in chat, just a heads up.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to figure out how I open up the chat. Like I said, Zoom is the one thing that I struggle with, and I don't know why.
I think you have to open up the Zoom thing again.
Yeah. Go to your Zoom tab down at the bottom, Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if that does anything for you. Yeah, it's opening it up now, I think.
There you go. You see Zoom way down there?
Yeah, it's opened up now. I think if you go to the up top there,
Okay.
it says meeting
Uh,
all the way at the top.
There we go.
I can't see it,
Uh,
sorry.
Introvert stream. So, I mean, it really is. It's just a matter of, I'm a firm believer that in this industry, we either have to embrace the technology or we're going to be replaced by technology.
Mhm.
Um, it's that simple. So the question is, can I be captive with Cornerstone and still be with Experior? And the answer is no. So you could join Cornerstone and never become captive with us. In the same way that I believe at Experior, you would never be able to hit executive director. Because if you become an executive director there, I believe you have to dedicate to Experior. Um, but you can work with both, and you could be on our team at Experior and work that way. Um, and exactly, yeah. I mean, we are, in my opinion, pioneering the next stage of this industry as far as being a virtual company. But yeah, and then join. Yes, you absolutely own your book of business from day one. You are vested into your book of business from day one. The only thing you are not vested into is owning part of Cornerstone and being part of the actual mutual IMO. You have to do 50K in production because, quite frankly, if you haven't done 50K of production, you are not a producer. I don't know too many people who could live on less than 50K a year. We don't want part timers being, on our board of directors. And, we want the people who give back. By the way, I don't think I elaborated, but we also have kind of like a union would. So we have regional reps. So when people ask, what's my incentive to help so many other people? We have divided the United States into 18 regions, and those regions will get to vote for a regional rep to the board of directors. Those regional reps um, will get a point multiplier on their own personal points and the points in their region. They get a percentage of that for helping train and be there for so many others. And it's up to you guys to elect those people democratically elected. And we're going to have some free and fair elections and hopefully no Russian interference. But so be it. Yeah, you'll be able to elect those people to kind of be your voice on the board of directors, and they will be rewarded with a multiplier on their points when we do dividends. And then yes, so you would have to have Series 65, I believe it is right now, is the only one we are working with. And yeah, so we were originally built Cornerstone Capital. The reason our logo is the two C's inverted was my entire business philosophy was focusing on ultra high net worth individuals and infinite banking concept. So we do, and if you understand infinite banking, you also learn debt free life. Um, so it works both ways. Uh, and yeah, so we are 50 states wide right now. It doesn't matter how many states you're in, you can contract through all of them right now. We'll send you a link and literally you'll sign up. Our technology partner is Back Nine. They'll get you set up with a general agency agreement through them. You go through them for the general agency agreement. We've got a new agreement, and I'll send you guys like all the places that you need to contract. But yeah, I mean, you could be in one state, you could be in all 50 states. This will work everywhere. And the only issue is, of course, if somebody wants to go in, fill out a quote, and they're in a state that you're not licensed in, you either need to get licensed there or you come to us. We'll have a Facebook group as well as a Telegram group, and we will find somebody in one of those states to split that sale with you if you don't want to do it yourself. And quite frankly, I can't speak for him, but I think Adam would be willing to help anybody with a sale in a state that they're not licensed in because Adam's licensed in all 50 states.
True. True story.
So there you go. But yeah, other than that, first thing first, obviously, if somebody comes through and you see that you have a lead and they are literally ready to push the button, might be worth it for you to just get that get that state license added in a day, and then use Insurance Pay and get those contracts over and be ready to rock. Um, so about if you're contracted with carriers in another company, it really, really depends on that company and their policies for releasing you. And that's something that I didn't touch on here. Our policy is we will release you if you want to leave at any time. The only thing that you have to do is get a letter from the carrier that says that you have no roll-up debt, and that if that changes, we will not be responsible for it. Carriers are used to giving those release letters. You get us that release letter from the carrier, we release you that day. Period, point blank. We are not holding anybody captive. I meant to say that when I had the picture of the agent with a gun to his head. So I'm glad you asked that question because it reminded me to mention that. Some carriers will not release you at all, or some of these other IMOs won't release you at all because they want to stick it to you for leaving them. That's unfortunately between you and them. However, what I have learned for a lot of people is if you sign up for Legal Shield, which again you have to do to work with us anyway, join our Legal Shield team. And there's two ways to do that. I recommend that you do it the way that you pay $50 and then you have a personal membership yourself at $30 a month. Because if you do that, you're eligible for their bonuses, and their bonuses make my car payment every month. I mean, they're nice. It's a one-time $50 fee and $30 a month. But if you truly can't afford that, we can get you signed up in there for free. Then you'd still have to pay the $30 a month to not be an agent, but to use this service yourself. If you have them send a letter to most of these IMOs and review your contracts, they can't hold you hostage. So an attorney sent letter will usually get them to release you. Especially if you're at one of those companies that bragged about not having a contract. Contracts are there for a reason. They tell you what is promised to you and what is expected of you. And I've seen most of the contracts in this industry, a lot of them are a crock of shit. But there are companies that like to brag that they don't have contracts, and that's why they don't have to release you either. A quick letter from a law firm, it costs you $30, we'll get that done in probably 8 out of 10 situations. Do we have any other questions? All right, if not, then I'm going to ask Adam. We got to figure out how to share his screen.
Stop sharing.
Okay, so how do I stop sharing?
Go back to Zoom.
Okay, I'm in Zoom.
Where's your bar at?
I had a quick question. I apologize.
Okay, yeah, no apology necessary. It's what I'm here for.
Yeah. How does the website work for clients that have ITINs? Like, would they have the option to like check that they're not a citizen, something like that?
I'm sorry, run this by me one more time.
If the person doesn't have a social, if they have like ITIN,
Okay,
would the website work the same for them? Or
so yeah,
okay,
Good
great.
question. Actually, I was about to show that.
Sorry.
So you saw Brandon give a quote,
Right.
right? And you saw the continue button. Well, this
Yeah.
is what happens after you hit continue.
Mm,
Okay. So you'll have the option to either and actually, funnily, you mentioned that Transamerica is probably one of the better companies for folks with ITINs.
right.
mhm.
Okay. So you'll hit continue, it'll come to this screen,
Yeah.
right? John Doe, his email, his phone number. You'll either you can send John the link
Hmm.
by clicking yes, and he can complete it on his own.
Yeah.
Or you could click no and be the agent, right? This is the entire application. Watch. So you'll fill out address,
Mm,
right? Employer, who owns the policy, who's the beneficiary,
mhm,
contingent beneficiary.
mhm,
And then you see right here where you put in social,
mhm.
you would just put in the ITIN.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Another thing too, and this comes up, it's happened in my own cases as well. For some reason, they don't have their license or something on them. You can select no, can't find it. We'll get it. We'll get it later. No worries. Okay, so you click next. enter existing policies.
That's crazy.
Okay. And then if you're doing the application, you're going to
Mhm.
ask the health questions.
And again,
It sh
they could get this their own, and it would
Right.
be put out automatically, put it in pipeline for you.
If
Right.
you don't want to do this, that's okay. See this little share button? Go ahead and share with them and say, all right, now that I filled out most of your application, I'm going to send you a link. Go ahead and fill out those health questions for
Right.
me. Yes or no. It should take you about, 5, 10, 15 minutes, depending on what you're saying. Okay. Now, when you hit next, most carriers will then package this into a DocuSign. The
Right.
client will be able to sign off right then and there.
Mhm.
It'll come to you as the agent to sign off as well.
Mhm.
And then bingo, you're done.
Mhm.
Okay, that will then go into BOSS. BOSS stands for your back office system. Everything is here. Okay, so from your home screen, all your cases are right here. Any of your e-apps are right here. This is your quote and apply menu. So that's the website that we're talking about.
Mhm.
You can customize it.
Mhm.
Okay, you can go in here, like Brandon was saying, we could put this into your custom landing page and change the code, the
And we're building
colors.
a landing page for you at Cornerstone with this stuff pre-built into it as well. So when you sign up, you'll have to give us a headshot and that type of stuff, a little background info, putting it all together for you, what states you're licensed in.
We're gonna make it look real nice for you, real pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, all your cases are right here.
That's amazing.
Okay, so what's going on with John? Well, we submitted it. All right, what are your next steps? Right? What are we submitting? What are the details of the case? Hey,
Yeah.
I want to chat my case manager. Oh, I can call my case manager too and talk directly to the person handling your case.
That's
Who's
great.
on it?
Right.
What are you getting paid for
Where
it?
your
What
connections here are just insane.
your
Yeah.
your any to-dos list? You need to go back to the application to ask a question. View e-app. Um, it came back differently than you applied. Maybe it wasn't a standard. We found out something about them now they're table two. Well, you could
Mhm.
request a requote and then we could figure out what they're at table two.
Mm.
Any policy that you submit, you'll be able to check your commissions. What did I get paid? What haven't I get paid on? Your help center is very helpful. There's articles in here. There's trainings. Your marketing in here too. There is a little bit of an email blaster. I don't normally kind of tout this all that much, but it's here, right? So let's say you want to grab a list of every business owner that you have in your database, copy and paste, slap it in here. Guess what? Bingo, that'll go out to
Or
business
provide a
owners,
list of the leads that I gave you for the month.
Right.
right? All your products are here, right? Like these are all your life products. There's 447 of them. Oh, there's annuity products. Well, there's 500 right there. How about long-term care? Oh, I'm securities license. Here's variable life. And then what Brandon was just mentioning, and I love this about the system, is the impaired risk quote. Okay, we're going to have these companies compete for the business, right? So you're the agent, obviously. You
Mhm.
could put in the insured's name here, birth date, all their information, go through this. So let's say, maybe they got diabetes, 41, diagnosis, they got the A1C is 6.5, they're on metformin, blah, 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 blah. Fill it out as best as you can. And when you click create impaired risk quote, that then anonymously goes out to all the carriers. And with the information that you input, they're going to email you back and say, all right, based off the information you sent me, we can offer table two. Okay, well, what about Lincoln? What did Lincoln said? Well, they can offer a standard. Prudential said table four, et cetera, et cetera. So that way we did some research to really help that client out and figure out who's going to be the best carrier for them, right? How's your website doing? Have you been marketing it? What's your business look like? Is it mostly term? Is it mostly permanent? Is it 20 year, 30 year, 40 year? How many of that? So it's almost ad nauseum here, but this technology is amazing. You will track every single thing that you possibly can right here.
I haven't seen anything like this before.
Yeah, and again, so it's not proprietary. Anybody could have actually went to back nine, but we got the best deal in the industry, in my opinion. Thanks to Adam for that. That we could start everybody at street. I could move them up higher, so you're going to get paid more here than working directly there. On top of that, when you come to Cornerstone, we've licensed the software. So we pay $25 per application that comes through the software as a service. Any other competitor could technically do that. But like I said, if they do, I'm going to go print 200,000 freaking T65s and I'm going to run it through the system and bankrupt them. So I hope they do. Sorry, Adam, you probably didn't want to hear that, but it's true.
Good question.
You know what? God bless you, man. I hope we get to that point.
I mean, it's, you know, it's just, that's so other agents might have the technology, but they're going to be doing it at a half of the commission that we offer. Because as a perfect example, so when you come over and you're at 80% of our 160, you're at a 128%. So when you're at our, you know, at our 90% table, that's a 144. So at that level, when you make 6 figures a year with us, you are at a higher contract than the highest levels you could reach at some of these other IMOs. You can't get a 144. I believe Symmetry only goes to a 120. They might go to a 140. I don't know of anybody who goes to a 144. And again, you can get to 100% contract with us on the life side. So you'll get every penny. The issue there is you're not getting free leads anymore because you're not giving us anything to market for you. Now you're going to get the organic stuff that comes in, but we can't buy you aged leads and so on and so forth. Where previously, you know, okay, you made X amount, we got 30% on that. This is how many leads we handed you for it. So you'll see that that money is being put to work. I mean, it's pretty win-win. Do we have any other questions?
You said just message you to see about signing up.
Yeah, if you guys want to message me instead of waiting for the next day or so when I launch the sign up website, just message me and I'll get you, you know, it's one link at a time because we got to do, you know, Adam's service. I got to get you through the annuities. I got to get you on Legal Shield. Like we've kind of got a hodgepodge of pieces because we put together so much stuff by shopping like the best places in the industry to do everything. So I literally did. I took the best and I threw out the rest. There's a couple people who like to claim that, but they are the rest. You know, it's like I saw somebody in this industry the other day literally saying like, you know, we got a technology company now, they got a technology company. And I'm like, dude, you're talking about Ethos. Anybody can sign up for effing Ethos. Like Ethos was around with some of these IMOs before your IMO existed. And then, you know, we went on tour. So they were, I'm like, dude, insurance agents have been going on tour since at least A.L. Williams days. Like, do you think you're the Beatles too? Like, I mean, some people's egos are so big in this industry. And I know I come off as an asshole sometimes because I get a little frustrated at those people in this industry and the people who, you know I come off as an asshole, but I promise you, I'm really not. I'm just kind of hanging on a rope at how frustrated I am with some of these things and watching people be taken advantage of. And that's why I wanted to fix that. I not just insurance agents, but customers. I watch people be taken advantage of all day. When I look and I see that Primerica sold, you know, 100,000 policies or whatever it might be, I get sick to my stomach because those aren't people. Yeah, they're better than having no insurance, but they're getting screwed. Every single one of them. And 5,000 Primerica replacements or close to 5,000 Primerica replacements. Do you know how many I couldn't beat? Not a single one. Not a single one. Not one single time was somebody in the best policy that they could have been put in. I actually recruited a couple Primerica agents by showing them that. I had one guy, I cut his policy in half and added living benefits.
It's crazy.
Like, I mean, those are the best leads in my opinion. I love it. They already got life insurance and they just want to save money. They're used to paying that bill. I don't have to press them on teaching them the value of life insurance. I just have to teach them we got a better product at a better price.
Sweet. That's
So,
amazing.
and now I've got an automated system where they can go learn what a better price is on their own. So yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, the truth about Primerica website is going to generate so many leads. It's not even funny. And there's nothing on there that's not 100% truth. So there's no liability for, defamation of character or anything when we're just saying, hey, there's people.
Huh?
Like I mentioned. Yes.
You know, there's cheaper products out there. So, I mean, that's it. Let's see if the chat has anything.
You guys are, and you said all 50 states, New York included?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
All 50 states. You just add that to Adam. You guys, it's Insurance Bay, right?
We're using SuranceBay, but now we have our own proprietary technology. So here's another cool part too,
Even better.
is to get contracted, it's one form. You're going to fill out one time, and then any state you're licensed in, obviously easy peasy, will automatically pick up any non-resident states using your NPN.
Yeah.
And then for anywhere you're not licensed, you could just send me a referral essentially, and then I'll act as the agent and we'll split it 50-50 right down the middle.
Sweet.
So there you go.
That's amazing.
Same thing, like people that have, you know, maybe you're inexperienced with IULs or don't have long-term care stuff. Adam's our point guy to say, hey, let me, you know, help me structure this real quick or look it over before I submit it even, you know. I mean, we're all kind of here to help each other. And that's the beautiful thing about being a mutual company. I had somebody tell me one day, they're like, that really sounds like communism. And I was like, no, it's not. I said, if you look at the roots of the word communism, it means community. That's exactly what I want us to be. It is a community of agents helping other agents to be better because, you know, there's plenty of pie for all of us. We don't have to view everybody as competition, but I do have to view unethical actors as competition. And that's why I built something that I think we take control from not allowing you to be that unethical actor. Because if you put a policy through that you did not do a financial needs analysis for, you're going to get paid on it, but you're not going to get credit on it with us. So it's, you know, or you sell a policy and you didn't want to fill out that form that you didn't, you know, do the most ethical sale possible by being cheapest, which by the way, we all know cheapest is not always the most ethical sale, but we want the client to know why they're paying more than the cheapest price was. So all those forms, and that's no matter what. If you're on the team at WFG, you have to fill out those forms with me still in order to get my leads. If you're not doing those things, you're not, you know, we're going to hold you accountable. You can't get free leads. It's that simple. If you're not going to follow the protocol, we're not going to give you more, you know, encouragement to do bad business.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really that simple.
It's required in banking to do a financial needs analysis before you sell anybody any type of product too. So
correct. And then if they're not getting everything that they needed on that, oh, I see Hannah hopped in here. So Hannah at Virtuity Financial Partners, Hannah is my point person at World Financial Group, which is really funny because I actually trained at World Financial Group in 2014, and the person that I trained under, their old office might become the headquarters for Cornerstone Capital. I'm working on getting that done, so that would be full circle for me. But yeah, so for those who don't know, Hannah's a seven-figure earner over at WFG and has been doing this since I was in first grade. I think we figured out the one day. But like I said, you know, that goes back to we don't want to fit a square peg in a round hole, and some people are meant to be builders, and I can't have you over here making no overrides on people if you care about making a giant ass team. But again, you know, when I look at who I work with and why, we spoke earlier about the difference between people who build teams and people who build people. Hannah's one of those people that has a team and you see the success in the people on her team because she knows how to build people. So she will be hands-on. You're not just a number there. And that's the same thing, you know, with any team or anything that I do is I want to build people. And when we build people, we're going to build successful people. Because anybody who saw my seven-figure agency training, it's not hard to make $1 million in this industry. You just have to work smarter and not harder. And we've given all the tools to work smarter than anywhere else. I mean, period. You can't beat these tools. You just can't. You can't beat the incentives. You can't beat having AI software that sits through and tells you, hey, that sales call effing suck, man, but this is what you could do to improve it. You know, I mean, it's really that simple. And I tested it. I called and ordered food the other day. I actually called a restaurant and they forgot to ask me my name. So I had to call back. And the only reason I knew they forgot to ask my name was because it literally came up and said, who the hell's picking up this food? That's it. So Joanna, the question is, if you're at Experior, can you join Cornerstone? So yes, you can, but I believe you're on somebody else's team. They're not going to allow you to transfer teams at Experior, number one. So that would be the problem, is you have to get contracts with us that you don't have there, or resign over there to pick up the contracts that you want with us, because I don't think a lot of them will allow dual appointments. If you were on my personal team there, you would be able to do it because we have an agreement with them, but I think you're on under Frank DeLeo directly, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of the only issue and hesitancy that you would have, is you would only be able to write through the carriers that you don't have there, and they've got quite a few carriers, so you're going to either have to resign or drop those carriers and pick up contracts with us, or only write through the carriers that we have. Because again, we don't want you taking our leads and writing them somewhere that we're not profiting. And Experior will not allow you to switch teams. I can tell you that right now. They have a zero tolerance policy for poaching from other teams. So that would be the only issue that you're going to run up against there. And yeah, Frank, that's it. And that's because one thing is you have to be able to sell Legal Shield, because it's part of our sales training. Honestly, is like when I do that free financial training where we show people the basics of financial literacy, we teach them, one of those things is protecting yourself, from this frivolous lawsuit world and civil litigation, and what the perils of that risk is. And Legal Shield is really just legal insurance. It's there to protect you in a civil matter. And if something becomes criminal, you got a nice discount, and it's a very cheap insurance to have. But it's something that, quite frankly, I sell to every single family that I have who's not rich enough to have an attorney on retainer. That's it. Is literally, that's part of our F&A is, do you have a member of your family that's an attorney, or a family attorney on retainer? Do you have 3 to 6 months in savings? If you don't have enough savings to weather, if you got in a car accident tomorrow, then you need Legal Shield. Period, point blank. I mean, it's really that simple. And again, we'll teach you why. Like we'll teach you how awesome this is. But that's it. And it goes back to when you ask them, okay, which one of these perils do you want to accept the risk for? They have to sign off that they want to accept the risk, that if they're in a car accident or they get sued or anything of that sort, they are going to handle their legal responsibility to an attorney. And then if they lose that case, they could risk everything that they're trying to set up with you that day. Realize that. If they put $1 million in an investment with you, there's a look back period, where if they get into a car accident with a guy with a Ferrari tomorrow, he wins that lawsuit in 6 months, they're going to lose it all unless it's protected assets. And we're not lawyers to teach them how to protect those assets. But even the lawyers that do will tell you that there's fraudulent transfer protections, and there's a look back period for protecting those assets. And again, something we teach in the basic financial training is why people need to protect their homes and assets against Medicare. How the government's not your friend. As a matter of fact, the house I'm sitting in right now was my grandparents' house. The only reason I'm able to have kept this in the family is because we had a Medicare protection trust and had those financial plans in place. And almost to the day the look back period expired, we had to start worrying about my grandmother's health. So, I mean, those are things that so many people don't know. They work their entire life, and then the government comes in and takes everything from them because they got sick. Or we could teach them how to avoid that. People always think, oh, you're rich because you have a trust fund. The reality is, the average hardworking blue collar people, the salt of our earth people, are the people who need a trust fund the most, because they can't afford to lose what they have at risk. And that's part of our job, is taking away those risks. That's what insurance is. And that's why I say these ancillary products are so important, is because we can protect every risk from every angle.
I didn't want to cut you off. I got to jump, but I am looking forward to working with all of you. And like Brandon said, look at me as your support system, technology, illustrations, products. we're going to get into all of that in great detail. And, I am a phone call or an email away. So looking forward to rock and rolling. Can't wait to talk to you all. Oh, and I wanted to mention real quick, somebody mentioned IBC. Yes, we do that. And matter of fact, wait till we talk about leveraged life insurance. But Brandon and I were keeping that under a hat for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
we're working on some great trainings, not just for this team, but to the group as a whole.
I would love
I
real
think
estate people that would
Anna's working with bringing a couple people in to do some trainings in the group as well. Because that's the thing is, like I said, so many of these people, your upline should be somebody you could look up to. I'm bringing the people that I look up to in the industry in, even if they're not my upline. But the reality is, so many people do not have uplines that they could look up to, or people that have a vested interest in their success. And quite frankly, I think that if we start teaching them and they realize, oh, hey, these people are actually helping me more than my upline, they will inadvertently, you give and it comes back. They'll end up on our team. So that's the game plan. But all right, guys, do we have any other questions? If you do come up with a question, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Preferably post it in the group because I'm sure somebody else would have that question as well. It's just one of those things. And then same thing, I don't recruit out of the group, but I think I'm going to start to because it's my group. But if you guys want to go in the group and say, holy shit, I saw this amazing thing, like what Brandon has built is so amazing, yada, 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 because it is. This is just, it actually, every time I show it to people, it blows their minds. As a matter of fact, I showed our tech stack to a tech developer from one of the major IMOs just to get his opinion on it. They tried to buy me out to keep me from competing with them. So literally, like, that was the response was, holy shit, how much money do you want for this? How much money would it take to make you not do this? Because they know, like, when you have something like this, it's just gonna, it's gonna take off. It has to take off because we've done everything that, you see the problems other agents have, the struggles they have, and we've used technology to fix that. But yeah, so you guys, anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out. John, same thing, like I said, you don't have to dedicate, so you could always pick up the places that you don't have as carriers there. I mean, I don't care
Yeah, for sure.
if you want to work at, 5 different IMOs until you get to that point where you would have to dedicate if you want to get dividends. That's it.
Yeah, that's nice. Thanks.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Levinson. I don't know if they would hold you captive, but from my perspective, you're more than welcome to come on, get into our quoting technology, and then just all I'd ask is that you shut off so it doesn't quote the companies that you don't have through us, because that's a win-win for you, because now you're not tempted to, be selling something that we don't get from our quotes, number one. And number two, you don't have to explain to agents or to clients why that one might be the cheaper
Yeah.
company, but you can't sell it to them because you're not licensed there. So same thing for anybody that if, let's say John Hancock is a company that's very strict on if you've got anything on your credit report, they won't appoint you. So you could shut off John Hancock. So it's not being quoted in quoting tools. I mean, it's really that easy. Franklin, I will get back to you as soon as we're off here. But yeah, I mean, it's really that easy. So, all right, guys, I'm going to hop off. Hopefully this will record accurately, and then I'm going to drop it in the group so other people who missed it can see what we're up to. But thanks for you guys hopping on, making time for me.